This week, we sit down with an athlete whose hobby really gets people laughing. And we'll have highlights from both the baseball and softball diamonds. Those stories and more next. I'm Emma Hamilton, and this is Inside Owl Athletics. We're starting on the softball diamond this week. Pitcher Molly St. Germain is celebrating after a record-setting day Wednesday in a split with Western New England. It came on this pitch in the bottom of the first, Game 1, when Molly St. Germain got her 200th career strikeout. Keene lost the opener 1-0, but St. Germain came back on offense in Game 2. She hit this rocket home run in the first to put the Owls up 2-0.
Left center. That's a home run.
It's gone, yeah.
That's out of here.
That one carried.
So the Owls off to a good start here.
It's her first homer of the season. Now, bottom 7, Keene up 2-1. St. Germain is on in relief, and she gets Madison Murabito to hit into a game-ending 3-6 double play. Keene State heads back on the road on Saturday, traveling to Western Connecticut State for an LEC doubleheader on Saturday at 1 p.m. The Owls baseball team got in a rare home game this week, welcoming Fitchburg State to town. The Owls got on the board with this third-inning double from Abe Granger. It brought in 2 runs to make it 3-2 Fitchburg. Fourth inning now, still 3-2, and Granger strikes again. This double to left brought in Max Struthers to tie the game at 3. Down 9-4 in the 9th, Tyler Gammy is Keene's last hope, but this grounder to short ends the game. Keene will host Rhode Island College in a key LEC doubleheader at noon on Saturday at the Owl Athletic Complex. Women's lacrosse picked up an LEC honor this week. Junior midfielder Chelsea Lewis repeats as Offensive Player of the Week. Lewis led the Owls to their 5th straight win, contributing 13 points with 8 goals and 5 assists. Softball and women's track and field represent our athletes of the week. Softball infielder Courtney Voto received the honor after tallying 2 RBIs in their 1-in-1 week. And women's track and field thrower Melissa Wydra earned the title after qualifying for the ECAC Championships in the hammer throw. Just go to any game and you can see how talented our athletes are on the field. But you may not know about the talents they have in other arenas. One great example of that here with us today is senior track and field athlete and stand-up comedian Dominique Pascal. Thanks for being here today, Dominique.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, tell me, how did you get into stand-up comedy?
I wasn't prepared for this question. Wait, yeah, I was. I think I was just always kind of the class clown in school. And I'm trying to think. I don't think there was one particular time, but I just always liked to make light of situations. So I tried to get up and be funny.
Now, were you always the joker, class clown kind of in high school?
Yeah, definitely. I would just say things in class to make my friends laugh. And, you know, sometimes I'd get into some trouble, but it was worth it because it was funny. And I was always down for a good laugh.
I'm sure your friends around you appreciated that.
Yes.
And what kind of emotions do you feel when you're performing in front of people?
Okay, so to be honest, when I started doing stand-up, I was like, this is going to be a walk in the park because basically it's a one-woman show, whatever situation I'm in with a crowd of people. But when you're up on stage, it's you talking with people about a story that you want them to relate to laugh with you, and, you know, sometimes at you. So what was the question?
How do you feel when you're up there in front of everybody?
3 words: lonely, cold, and vicious.
That's really quite the description.
It gets scary sometimes, especially when there's a lull. So the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and sometimes a lull, you can just drag it out and it's funny. Because people get uncomfortable when there's silence.
Do you remember that first time you did it?
Yeah, it was actually right in Peterborough. It's my freshman year. I called my dad and I was like, I'm dropping out of college. And he was like, whoa, what's going on? And I was like, I'm gonna go to New York and be a stand-up comedian. And he's like, when have you done stand-up? And I was like, not yet, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna make it if I go out to New York. So he's like, well, I'll come pick you up and We'll go to an open mic. So we went to Harlow's Pub
Oh, okay, yeah.
on like a Wednesday night at 9. So the demographic was like 50-year-old males wanting to have a beer after work, and I was like, so I'm in college, and it was horrible.
It didn't go well.
No, but my professor from my ITW class came, Professor Botting, I don't know what camera I'm on, but shout out. She was like, you can't stop talking in class. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I don't even plan on it. It just starts to talk. So she's like, you should do stand-up. And she actually came, brought her daughter, and watched me bomb. That's what you call it when you suck at stand-up.
Has she been to other performances since then for you?
Nope. Swing and a miss.
Would you say, though, that she was maybe like one of your influences for really pushing to go do that day?
Absolutely, because she told me she used to do stand-up when she was younger.
Oh, very cool.
And I was like, what happened? You're a professor. And she's like, it didn't work out, but you should try it. And I was like, that's reassuring. Okay.
Now, that joking personality, would you say that that also carries on to your team here at the college?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, my coach might not be a big fan all the time, but he appreciates the energy, I think. Tom's watching.
Can you get Tom to laugh a few times?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And to be honest, it's really like if he says something or something happens or like a conversation that is going nowhere that I can make light of off the cuff, that's really where like people get caught off guard and they're like, what? Why would you say that? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't think. There's no filter, which sometimes can get me into trouble. But
now there's only a few more weeks left until graduation, and do you have any career goals in mind for when you leave?
Like in terms of like comedic endeavors?
No, just in general, really.
I actually just applied to Southern New Hampshire University to be an admissions counselor.
Very cool.
Basically just talking with students over the phone and, you know, about the program at SNU and what they want to do. I'm just going to work there, save up some money, and then go out to California. I have friends that are doing the whole struggling artist thing, and I'm going to join that squad.
You plan on maybe doing some stand-up comedy out there?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's the plan. I'm going to do stand-up in Manchester. That's where I'm from.
Oh, cool.
I go to Murphy's a lot, Murphy's Tap Room. It's so hard, and it's so rough, and that's what I like to do because I want to, like, I want like reality to be thrown in my face. So when I go out to California, I'm not like scared, you know?
Yeah.
So I just want to.
No, I think that's great prep for that. Well, thank you, Dominique, for being here today.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. And
Thank you.
Good luck with your performances and track and field and your life after graduation.
Thank you. Good luck with your news anchor endeavors.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We kick off next week's action with the track and field teams competing in the Silfin Invitational on Saturday. Also on Saturday, the baseball team faces Rhode Island College in a doubleheader starting at noon. Women's lacrosse will host UMass Dartmouth at 1, while men's lacrosse hit the road to Salem State for a 1 p.m. matchup. Softball is on the road on Saturday, taking on Western Connecticut in a doubleheader starting at 1. Baseball goes on the road Sunday for 2 games against New England College. Those games start at noon and at 3 p.m. Tuesday is rivalry day, where baseball, softball, and women's lacrosse all face Plymouth State. Baseball will be at home with the opening pitch at 3:30. Softball competes in a doubleheader with the first game at 3:30 and the other at 5:30. Women's lacrosse heads to enemy territory at 4. Baseball continues at home on Wednesday facing Western New England University at 3:30. Softball is also in action on Wednesday facing Amherst College for a few games starting at 3:30. Wrapping up our week is the men's lacrosse team. They head to Plymouth State on Wednesday with a 4 p.m. start. And just a friendly reminder that because we are in the spring season, weather plays a huge role in schedules. Check in at KeenOwls.com for all updated schedule changes. Again, that's KeenOwls.com. That's all for now. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with some more Keene State action. For Inside Owl Athletics, I'm Emma Hamilton.